I got the error message, but I think we're okay. All right. Everybody say thank you to President Bonko, who was helping me with the live stream. He's now going to go away, and it will just be me and Brittany. Thank you, Bong. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for attending this month's VPSA chat. We are talking about the transition from active to alumni status that comes for us all. And my guest today is Miss Brittany Biberston from the Kappa Kappa Psi Local Alumni Association Director. She is on the board of directors, and she will be helping us through this chat about what to expect during this very special time in all of our Kappa Kappa Psi careers. So, um, we are going to be holding our own tonight on the live stream. So if you are um, interested in asking a question, please let us know. I'm going to pull it up here to make sure that I don't miss a comment. I see us there. We are live. So I'm going to make sure that if you ask questions, I will have a look at the comments and make sure that those come through. But thank you very much for being here. First, I will ask Brittany to tell us a little bit more about herself.
Sure. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I have been so excited for this. Literally at work today, I was like, yep, at 5 o'clock, I have to go because I have somewhere important to be. So thank you so much for inviting me. I am Brittany Biberston. I am the LAA director for the KK-Psi Alumni Association. I was a spring initiate of Spring 12 at Kappa Beta at Clemson University. I majored there in animal veterinary science with a minor in wildlife biology. I'm currently a veterinarian medicine nurse where my clinic I work at currently, we specialize in dental and oral surgery. I live in Denver, Colorado with my husband, Ryan, our almost 9-month-old baby, which is so weird to say. And my mom also lives with us as well. Um, yeah, I guess before this, I was a part during whenever I was active, I was the corresponding secretary for most of the time. I loved working as a corresponding secretary. The only time I was not the corresponding secretary, I was actually the VPME for my chapter. Um, and outside as an alumni, I was the programs chair for Zeta for 4 years. I also served as the programs chair for the Alumni Association Committee for about 2.5, 3-ish years, right before I joined the board. Um, and yeah, right now I advise the jurisdiction committee for the AA, and I'm an advisor on the expansion committee for nationals. So I think that kind of covers most of what I do and don't do. So
Amazing. Wonderful. Am I frozen? No. Okay. Just checking. Uh, so that's a lot of great information. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by talking a little bit about our journeys. So I think you guys know a little bit about what we're doing and like positions we've held and all of that. But I want to talk about our personal journeys from that active to alumni transition, how that sort of worked out for us, how we ended up getting involved and staying involved, and any thought that we have about what could work for other people. Apologize if I'm freezing. In spring of 2004, and I held a couple of positions in the chapter. I was president for 2 years, and then I was our vice president of membership. And it was a very fun time. But when I graduated, I was going to graduate school at NYU. And so I moved to New York City. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of alumni uh, structure in the city. I'm sure it's different now. But what I ended up doing was just focusing on my career and working and getting to know the city a bit. So I ended up taking like fully 10 years off from the fraternity. I was very active and interested and involved when I was in college. And then when I graduated, I didn't really have a lot to hold on to. I was focused on other things. And I sort of let that go for a while. And then what ended up happening was I moved out of New York City. I had graduated, I had been working for a couple of years, and I ended up moving back to Florida. And I decided to get back involved when I ended up in Tampa with my local chapter, just sort of going to rituals and hanging out with the brothers. And we ended up starting an LAA, a local Alumni Association chapter in Tampa Bay. And then, okay, I don't know if live is working. So let's check what we've
Yeah.
got going.
I
Were you
just
pulling up on
got
your phone?
I just got a text message asking if it was working. So I just asked Bong. Um, let's see. Bong said, let me check. It sure does. You might have to restart. My friend that texted said it seems like it's not. It might be me. I'm not sure. So
Let me give this a try again.
okay.
Share to page. This one. Go live. Okay, I see the little Facebook logo on our Zoom.
Okay.
It says the content of this meeting is being sent to Facebook. I did get an error message, but I still see the Facebook thing.
We love technical difficulties.
Hello, everybody. Um,
We are so sorry.
that's okay. We'll figure this out. Let's see.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. I think
I do. I'm seeing it now too. So, hello again.
good.
Sorry about that, everybody. Bong is back. I think we're okay. I see the little Facebook thing going in the corner. We see it on our phones. So, maybe we'll give it a second to see if it holds on.
We love technology.
Gotta love it.
It looks good.
Because
Okay.
because Arupa and I are on it.
That's why it looks good. All right. Well, I think we're okay for now. If you want to like hang out in the background or spy on us from your phone and make sure it stays okay, that would be great. But otherwise, maybe we'll start over, just to make sure that everything gets covered. And this will all get cut out in the edit. Yay.
All right. Have fun, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So hello everybody. I think we're on a new post, and I'm hopeful that that means that it will stay where it is and stay live. So we will just start over here so that people can watch it back. But my name is Arupa Gopal-Campbell. I'm the National Vice President for Student Affairs. Thank you so much for attending this month's VPSA chat on the transition from active to alumni status. I'm being joined by Brittany Biberston, the LAA Director from the Kappa Kappa Psi Alumni Association Board of Directors. And of course, this is an interesting time for everyone, whether you are a graduating senior right now or you are anticipating this transition in a year or two or a couple of years when you graduate. We hope that we can give you some resources, some things to think about so that when you do transition, you'll have an easier time with it, with some resources to pull from. So first, Brittany, why don't you introduce yourself again?
No worries. Hi, my name is Brittany Biberston. I am a life member of the Kappa Beta chapter of Kappa Kappa Psi in Clemson, South Carolina. I currently live in Denver, Colorado with my husband, Ryan, our 9-month-old Riley, and my mom, and our 7-year-old dog, Lila.
Of course.
Of course, you gotta say the first princess of the family. Um, I graduated. I was initiated spring 12. Graduated in December 2016, and I graduated with a veterinary animal veterinary science degree with a minor in wildlife biology. And I currently work as a vet nurse where my clinic specializes in dental and oral surgery.
Nice. Thank you so much. So I thought that a good way that we could start this is just talking about our personal journeys on transitioning from an active member to alumni status, and a little bit about how we got involved or got re-involved, and how we've sort of explored that time as we've gotten back to the fraternity. So I'll start just a little bit. I was initiated in spring 2004 at the University of South Florida, and I spent some time in the chapter as president for 2 years and then as vice president of membership. And I was very active and involved and enjoyed my time a lot. But then when I graduated, I was going to grad school at NYU. So I moved to New York City. And we unfortunately didn't have a lot of structure for alumni in that area at that time. So I wasn't really able to grab onto any kind of alumni, you know, situation. I did end up working somewhere where one of my coworkers was Kappa Kappa Psi, and that was very interesting, like of all things, but that was kind of it. And so I ended up taking fully 10 years off. I wasn't ever a district officer. I wasn't a member of any national committees. I was on district level committees for like conventions, but I ended up just focusing on my career and figuring out life after graduating. And I graduated from NYU. I worked there for a couple of years, and then I ended up moving back to Florida and actually got a job in Tampa at USF. And it was at that time I was back at my home chapter. I was back, among this friend group that I knew, that I started going back and supporting the chapter as an alumni. I was attending rituals and, just being around and enjoying that time, just being around. And it wasn't until Evan Thompson, past national president, sort of put out a call for folks to apply to be district governor. And I looked at the page with all of the requirements and qualifications on it, and I was like, you know what? I think I kind of fit what they're looking for. At the time, there were two district governors, and I knew neither of them were leaving, but I understood that I could submit this application and be considered for other things as they might come about, which is exactly what happened. I ended up on the Chapter Officer Training and Resources Committee, and that was a lot of fun. I had a good time just sort of exploring that area of things, bringing my chapter experience into it, thinking about what would work for folks around the country. And that sort of gave me my first idea of what involvement at a national level could be. The year after I was on that committee, they ended up deciding that they wanted to add a third Southeast District governor. And so Evan called me and he asked, would you still want to be considered for that? I can just use all of your application materials from last time. And I said yes. And so we went through a round of interviews, some, application type stuff. And he called me and said that they were going forward with me as district governor. And so I got to serve with some wonderful folks in that position over the years. I did that for about 6 years and had a great time. And then when the opening for VPSA came about, I got some supportive encouragement to apply for that position. And so I did, not really thinking a whole lot of it, but knowing that I would enjoy that position. And then I ended up being asked to fill that spot. And so I feel like it's a really good example of you don't need to be in the weeds or in some pipeline to end up in national leadership, that you can explore your own life and your career and fill out the rest of the things that you have going on after graduation and still come back to the fraternity and contribute. It's kind of like it's there for you when you have the time and the space, when you're in that right season of life to make these kinds of contributions. And that will ebb and flow, but the fraternity will kind of always be there for you. And that was my experience. So, Brittany, I'd love to hear about yours.
Sure. Well, I am not a baddie like you. So whenever I graduated in December of 2026, my plan in life was I wanted to go to master's at Tufts University. And so I was going to take either a semester up to maybe a year off just to work on my graduate application process and everything. So I ended up moving back home. My grandmother at the time was very sick, so I worked and also helped my mom out with taking care of her. So just with like I don't want to say the doom and gloom, but just the kind of hecticness of taking care of family members and prepping for grad school and everything else. I wanted to have when I say stability, just something familiar that I was used to doing for the last 5 years. So I decided to join Zeta. One of the biggest things I enjoyed doing while I was active, I served as a corresponding secretary for Kappa Beta for pretty much every year that I was active. The only year that I didn't serve as corresponding secretary, I served as a VPME. At the time, I had a handful of people say, well, why don't you be president? Why don't you do this position, VP of service? And I was like, no, my heart really belongs to secretary. I love correspondence secretary. I love talking with other districts, convention planning for Kappa Beta, just all that mess. So I decided to join Zeta since being a local alumni that worked with the district planning. I felt like that was the best fit for me. I very much enjoyed it. I ended up becoming the next year in 2018. Becoming the programs chair and as I serve for the next 4 years. So during all of that fun time, ended up having to postpone my grad studies. My grandmother unfortunately passed away at that time, but just with life going on, it was having KK Psi there as that kind of like happy, fun stability for me. And then I ended up meeting my husband, and he serves in the Army. He's an officer in the Army. So whenever he was on deployment after our first year of dating, he came back and he said, I am stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas. And I was like, well, we've already done a year apart. There's a job opportunity for me to work at K-State's veterinary hospital in Kansas. Why don't I move with you? We moved, we got engaged and all that mess. So I still stayed involved with Zeta during that time, even with moving to Kansas. I joined Midwest District Alumni Association, WADA at the time, or I joined it while I was out in Kansas. And I found that being a part of KK Psi still gave me that same stability of I'm in a new area. I was born and raised in South Carolina. I've traveled. I'm not afraid to travel. I grew up in dance conventions where I went across the country and everything, but I've never actually lived even outside the state of South Carolina. Technically Augusta, Georgia, but if y'all are from that area, it's all in the same. But regardless, so just having that stability of brothers that were in the area or near the area or understood like what Manhattan or Kansas or just Midwest life in general. And then after that, we moved. Ryan got restated. We tend to move every 2 to 3 years. So we moved to Texas after a couple of years in Kansas. A plethora of brothers there and sisters there too. So during that time, I was also able to, I hadn't served on any committees. During conventions, while I was active, I had served on like programs committee, nominations committee. But I hadn't served on any like national or alumni. So then there was an application for programs committee for the AA. I put in an application. I was called to it. I ended up chairing it for about 3 years, which was fabulous. I had a great time doing that. So again, during all of that, just having that stable connection of being able to talk to brothers that I'm not in my hometown, try to do meetups. Kadeem ended up moving out to Texas, and we had known each other from our active years, but him moving out to Texas, we were able to meet up a couple of times and visit with each other. And then now, wash, rinse, repeat. We're up in Denver,
Yeah.
but doctors Nick Rohr and Anthony Walker live not even 20 minutes away from me, like literally around the
Amazing.
corner from where I work. They've brought their dog Bayou in to see
Oh,
me, so I got to work on the fabulous Miss Bayou. And there's a bunch of other brothers and sisters like Mia
yeah.
Grant from WADA. We just made the connection that she is also 10 minutes away from me. So
Ah,
just being able to have that like fun moment of excitement of, you know what, this isn't my hometown, but I feel at home because of the brothers and
right.
sisters that are around the area. So KK Psi has been that constant for our lifestyle where we move every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So just to be able to have that consistency, and of course with national leadership, being able to kind of work up the ranks to the Alumni Association. I also never served as a district officer. I honestly just didn't have time while I was active. But being a part of the different LAAs and then kind of come on up to the alumni board. So it's been fun and interesting.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, there is that commonality with our stories of just staying aware of when opportunities present themselves and, looking out for applications for things and thinking about your own active experience and what you're interested in and how you might be able to contribute to the fraternity. As a follow-up, can I just ask, whenever you moved to a new area, how did you find out about brothers that might be living there?
So for me, and this may just be from where my roots are, I immediately reached out to the district alumni associations.
Mm,
Whenever, and I forgot to mention, whenever I lived in Texas, I also was a part of SWATA as well. I immediately joined the district alumni. I kind of poked around on Facebook to see if maybe there was like any um, subgroups of the where we lived in Texas was outside of Austin, so like was there an Austin area, or
yeah,
looking on the Facebook pages. I don't Discord a whole lot. I tried to poke around on there. I feel like I'm too old for Discord. um, but just poking around and just trying to figure out or like make connections with some of the
right.
other brothers and sisters where they said like, oh, I have a aunt that lives in, I don't know, lives in the Dallas Fort Worth area of Texas. And they've said that like they love to go to this particular store and
Right.
or restaurant or whatever. And it's like, oh well, let's go and do that and whatnot. So
Yeah.
just poking around, but I would say my main goal or my main advice would be to reach out to the district alumni associations. There's one
Yeah.
for each district. And they'll be able to, if you have any questions or concerns, all of their officers are super nice, super friendly. So
Yep.
they'll be able to kind of help guide and do meetups and be
That's
just a
great.
friendly face.
And so if you're looking for a local alumni association, how would you find that?
So you can go to the Alumni Association's website, kkpsiaa.org. There's a little tab at the top that says LAAs. We'll have a list of them listed out. We have we have KK Psi LAAs. We also have joint LAAs that are a combination of TPS and KK Psi. For any sisters that may be running across this, y'all also have your own LAAs as well. Jessica Smith is y'all's LAA director. They also have their LAA information on their website as well. So those would be the starting points. If you're interested, if there's one in your area, go to our website, take a look at our map. If you find one that isn't in your area and you're kind of interested in wanting to start one up, you can reach out to me and we can sit down and have a conversation, and I can walk you through the logistics of starting one, any headaches you might run into, just kind of set you up for success.
Yeah, that's great. That was going to be my follow-up question. If I go to the website and I find that there's not one in my area, what can I do? And the answer is you can start one
Call
if you would
me.
like to. Call Brittany. She'll
Yeah.
help you start one. Amazing. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much. So I'm looking at our little list of questions. Next, I'd kind of like to go into sort of the opportunities for alumni and how to get started. If you'd like to just talk about what they should be doing, what they should be thinking about, and sort of what the Alumni Association's kind of goal is for
Mhm.
engaging alumni, that would be great.
Yeah, so our goal as an AA is to essentially honor our past while preserving our future. We want to honor the past and connecting with our KK Psi. Why, or KKY, excuse me. Why did we join the Alumni Association, or why did we join KK Psi? What made us want to continue with service, and what would make us want to continue post our leaving our universities and colleges.
Right.
Um, there's a lot of engagement that you can do as an alumni, and we love to make sure that everyone understands that not only is there a lot of engagement that you can do, there's also a lot of flexibility that you can do as well. Basically, whenever you are an alumni, there's a few different tiers that you can participate in as an alumni. We have our LAA tier, where it's about $15 a year, and these prices are going to be for the year membership. Um, the $15 a year for the LAA is just for those individuals that are, you know what, I just want to be involved with my local alumni association. I really don't have the time, energy, or interest in going to conventions or doing national committees or anything like that. I just want to focus on like my chapter's LAA. That is not a problem whatsoever. That is your KKY. So we have that availability for you. We also have, and of course, for graduating seniors, we have the graduating senior tier where you get your first year free um, with the Alumni Association as long as your chapter fills out that graduating senior report. It's available for May, August, December, random February, graduating, whatever happens, sort of situation. But pretty much as long as you graduate, you fill out that graduating senior report, we gift you 1 free year to be a member of the AA. And I strongly encourage any actives to really utilize that year. It's going to give you the ability to kind of test out and see if you want to join any LAAs, if you want to maybe join. We also have committees. You can join both our Alumni Association committees. You can also join national committees. So say, for example, if you were in your chapter and your chapter time, you really didn't get a chance to do any like jurisdiction for whatever reason, and you're like, you know what, my job provides me the opportunity where I am kind of leaning a little more into jurisdiction, Robert's rules, forms, whichever. You can join the national or the AA's jurisdiction committee, and then just kind of go through, and then we can give you some advice and some experience on that as well, so you can kind of pull that experience into your professional life. So we have those committees, you have the LAAs, and then the next tier that we have is our regular alumni tier, roughly $50 a year. With that, you are able to participate in committees, LAAs. You can also attend national and district conventions. So if that's something that you're still strongly engaged with or want to be engaged with, the alumni line tier, I would strongly recommend. And then, of course, we have our life member tier where you currently pay the $500. You get your life membership. You can pretty much do anything and all the above. So the ability to have those different tiers and different experiences, you can kind of be flexible and see what works for you. I know for younger Brittany, whenever I was at K-State, I worked night shifts. So um, being maybe on the AA board, that time was not a good time for me.
Right. Right.
Being on a committee wouldn't have been the best time because most of the time when they're meeting, I was sleeping, and
Right.
vice versa.
Right.
But being able to be on Zeta and do programming, that worked out perfectly with my schedule. So
Right.
we try to give some flexibility to match, and we don't harbor any ill will if 1 year you go, you know what, I can do this, this, and
Right.
this, and then the next year maybe you're getting married, maybe you're moving,
Right.
maybe you have a
Right.
baby, maybe you're doing all three at once like I did.
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
God.
and
But yeah, so I
yeah.
just want to link on to what you said. As you go out into your professional career, you can utilize those skills and give back to Kappa Psi.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely.
So definitely anyone out there who's graduating and moving on, if you are going into a certain career and you think things might be beneficial for Kappa Kappa Psi, we'd love to have that involvement from you. But also keep an eye out whenever, like I said, those applications are going out and all of that, and you think, hey, I have some experience that's relevant. That's very helpful.
Yes.
So other general Alumni Association things you want to talk about?
Let's see. So pretty much other things that we have available. So on the board, and this just kind of helps with my honing down everything. So on the board, we have 8 different board members, which also is another opportunity for you to serve as an alumni. You can also look into serving as a governor. You can also look at serving as a national council member, because we are all alumni.
Yep.
So if those are options that you're interested in, those are opportunities you can take as well. But different ones, of course, we have our membership chair, working with different memberships. So if that's something you want to do, we have that committee. We have different opportunities to work in communications. We have a podcast, we have a Facebook page, Twitter, X, YouTube channels. We host a bunch of different programs, some of them being professional development. We have our Botox, where if you're a professional in a certain field, you can reach out to us and we'll let you host about a 15-minute sit-down conversation of showing off exactly what you're best at and how it can benefit the rest of the brothers. We have a mentorship program. We have professional grants that we give out to alumni brothers that can help out with their professional development or education if you want to do a master's or a doctorate. If you're a little short on cash, we have some grants to help you out as well. We also have awards. We have both professional awards and brotherhood awards as well. I received the Zach Stoddard Award back in 2021 for outstanding young alumni. We have something similar as the older alumni. We have awards for those that are in music careers, and we have those that aren't in music careers. So we try to empower and exemplify any brothers that are doing well in their careers, or maybe they want to succeed or go on the next step in their career. So we have those grants. We, do different fundraisers. We also have, coming up for the first time this year, we have the IJB, the International Jazz Band. So we're really excited about that. And I want to say the deadline is still open. Today is the 15th. Yes.
Yeah.
The deadline is still open. So if you are a fan of jazz and you like playing jazz, please audition for the IJB. We want y'all to participate.
Yeah.
We also have for the first time our program, we have the JCC, the Jazz Composition Competition.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that one is closed, but we have had 4, count them 4, applications sent in, which is great for it being our first year.
Yeah.
We're also super excited for that. Both of those will be at NatCon. So just different areas and ways for you to, we just try to have a complete fun circle for those to still be involved with KK-Psi.
That's amazing. And, the IJB is first this year, like you said. And if you happen to miss any of these deadlines, keep an eye out in 2 years and you can audition or submit a composition. So those are things that are going to be new and ongoing. So that's amazing. So one last question. You talked about memberships a little bit. How do I keep up with my membership status?
So you can go to our website. Again, the website's going to be the best place to go. KKPsiAA.org. On those fun little tabs up top, there's going to be one that's called membership. Our membership currently runs from January 1st until December 31st. So with the calendar year.
Not the academic year.
Not the academic year. However, starting in 2026, September 2026, we are transitioning to the academic year.
Nice.
Along with our LAA renewal forms and everything. We're transitioning to try to elope everything into one deadline. So the breakdown we'll be on our website. We'll have it all down for you. So pretty much what you do is every year, just like your Costco and Sam's Club membership, it's got to renew. We
Yep.
unfortunately do not have it on a automatic renewal basis. And we do that because we do have some members that do have to bounce in between those tiers. Some years they just do the LAA, some tiers they bump up to the alumni tier. No problem here. We just want y'all to be involved in some level. So you go online, you fill out the form. It's real quick and easy, takes not even 5 minutes. I think honestly, finding it on a website takes longer than actually
Sure.
filling it out, which is not hard either.
Yeah.
But you just have it filled out once a year. We send out when the deadlines are for this upcoming year. If you aren't registered and want to join, it is still open. There are no cutoff dates whatsoever. So if you register today, your membership will last until December 31st of 2025. So yeah, I would strongly recommend if you're a graduating senior and once you get that graduating senior report in, or if it's going on at the same time, go ahead online and register with us.
Yeah.
That way we'll see the information. We're in cahoots with headquarters, so
Yep.
we'll be able to kind of link up, and if there's any issues, we will work through it to make sure that you are part of the AA.
That's wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Everybody go to kkpsiaa.org and join. Okay, so getting away from sort of the fraternity structure things just a little bit, I'd love to cover the next topic. I'm so interested. So the sort of do's and don'ts of staying involved and being an alumni. I'm sure that folks might have their own experience from being an active chapter member and having alumni who hang around. They might have their own thoughts about what they might or might not do when they themselves become an alumni. So we would love to hear from your experience about the best ways to stay involved, especially if there's like a local chapter in your area, and maybe some things to avoid.
Yes. So I would say the biggest thing to avoid, I always say be a brother, not a bother. Just
Absolutely.
and that can kind of be flexible. If for your home chapter, you're going to know your home chapter better than anyone else is going to know them. Same thing. Sometimes there is that, I don't want to say the weird alumni that comes back and it just kind of hovers and is like, well, this is how we did it.
That's right.
But you do
Well,
have
because like I'm sponsor of my own home chapter, which is a very interesting situation to be in. But I
Mhm.
know that the chapter of today is not the chapter of 2006 from when I was active, and that they know kind of the best about the way things that should work for them. And if they ask my advice, I am happy to give it to them, but I don't think I've ever even thought about going into a chapter meeting and saying, this is the way this is the way we used to do it. And
Mhm.
so this is the way that you should do it. So, none of us who are alumni know exactly what it's like to be active and, an enrolled student in a college or university right this minute. And so
Mhm.
you kind of have to go in with that in mind, knowing that you might have some experiences that are relevant, but you can't always understand exactly what they're feeling.
Exactly. Just be courteous. You don't go in someone else's, this is a Southern in me. You don't go in someone else's house and put your shoes on their coffee table. You don't.
Right. That's right.
And that is it may be your active chapter, but this is, or your active home chapter, but it is not your old home chapter,
Right.
if that
Right.
makes sense. Just always be, open. You can always send an email or
Right.
whichever to the sponsor, to the chapter president, and say, you know what, my name is Brittany Biberston. I was a part of the Kappa Beta chapter during this time. If Kappa Beta, I'm in the area. If Kappa Beta needs any financial support, if they need an extra hand, if they have any questions or concerns, this is what I'm proficient at or not proficient at,
Right.
whatever. I am here. You let me know what I can do for you. And I think just reaching out that respectful, calm hand
Yeah.
speaks tremendous more than what
Right.
elbowing your way into it. So
That's right.
just always fall back on be a brother, not a bother.
Yeah.
I think everyone can understand that, you want to do what's best and just allow the actives to be the lead on that.
That's right. And so if you move to an area away from your home chapter and you know that there's a chapter in town, how would you suggest they get in touch?
I would still strongly suggest reaching out to their sponsor or director of bands. Um, Again, also looking at our website and seeing if maybe there's an LAA for that
Right.
chapter. Reaching out to their LAA officers and saying, hey, I'm new to the area. I would love to, if y'all do every Tuesday, everyone goes out and gets coffee or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, if you would like, I'd love to attend. If not, I'm here. If you need help, just please let me know.
Yeah.
I did that for K-State's Epsilon.
Yeah.
I sent an email to their sponsor whenever I moved up there, and they were like, "Yep, that's great. We'll definitely reach out if we have any issues, but welcome to the area," which was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It worked out great, but it was also great to know that they received that well, and
Right.
so it was pretty good.
And so what if you're interested in like going to chapter events, like rituals or other things they might have?
So technically, as long as that active chapter says, yes, we would love to have alumni come, you can absolutely come. There's nothing saying that, oh, you can't go to any rituals, you can't do anything. Just typically the chapters will have like a little alumni page or a little shout out. Utilize the alumni relations officer.
Yep.
Their main goal is to make sure that alumni are up to date on what their rituals are and what events that they're hosting and everything. Um, if you're not sure, just always triple check with the sponsor. If the president of the chapter has their information like on their website or anything like that, you can always shoot an email just to say, hey, I'm interested. I see that you're hosting this event. Is it open to alumni?
Right.
And then also understanding with grace that maybe some activities and some events, they just don't have it open for alumni. It is
100%.
not it is not a personal thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't have the abilities to host for alumni as well. They can only host it for their active chapter.
Yep.
And
So if you ask and they say no, you just gotta let that be
yeah,
because they're
you've
the
got to respect it.
ones who kind of control their space. Yeah,
Yes.
100%. Anything else about do's and don'ts that we haven't covered yet?
Let's see. Do renew your form every year. Please, dear God,
Hello.
do renew your form. Do come to convention. We
Yeah.
do want alumni there. We do want them to be a part of the organization. You take a oath for service for life. So we want you, we
Yeah.
want you there.
And there
So
is programming for alumni. So
there's
it's not like
always
you're just wandering around.
correct. We will not let you wander. We have programming for alumni at every single district convention. We have programming at national conventions. We are post COVID and everything. We're trying to get more social events over um, different media aspects, different hangouts throughout the country. We do participate in any programming that we provide because we are doing this for y'all. We want y'all to be involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, do come to the activities and things. Do be respectful. Do be a fun brother, and don't be a bother.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sounds great. Okay, so our next topic is just sort of going back to our personal journeys, probably a little bit, thinking about is there a place for my experience in the future of the fraternity? Am I the kind of person that could be successful joining leadership roles? And this one's, personal for me because, like I said, I took 10 years off and I didn't really see a future for myself in like the leadership of the fraternity. I could see myself hanging out with a local chapter, going to rituals or things like that. But in terms of national leadership, I wasn't really sure that that was an option for me. Um, but what I've come to learn in my time is that every single person who has been an active brother has something to share with the future of the brotherhood. And I think that you should definitely consider putting in those applications, running for office, getting involved. And when I say you, I mean, yes, you specifically, you, the person watching this right now. It doesn't matter how big or small your chapter was, how old or young it was, whether you held officer positions at the chapter level or the district level. If you believe that you have things that you can share, the fraternity would like for you to be involved. So, taking that into consideration as you become an alumni, thinking about the things that you worked on in your active experience, those things will be beneficial to you in these kinds of leadership roles in the first place, and you should always keep an eye out and be involved.
Mhm.
Do you have anything to add?
I mean, you I pretty
Yeah.
much covered what I was gonna say, but yeah, just there's a million different ways you can be involved. I I'm not a music profession. I don't work for music. Nothing. I'm in medical. I do animals
Yeah.
and medical. But some of the leadership qualities and skills that I've been able to hone in from being a part of KKSI, I've been able to utilize whenever the clinic looks like that SpongeBob meme where everything's on fire and everyone's running around. I've just been able to be like, okay, and we are not doing this,
Yeah.
and proceed on and roll on. So there's even not even being in a music career, there's definite ways and goals that you can utilize KKSI for your career.
100%. So people often think about, the skills that I've developed in the time that I've spent. Is that something that could be relevant to my career path? And so, what would you say about how to utilize those skills and write them down in a way that will help you perhaps get a job?
So let me see. So yeah, writing them down. Honestly, take a step back and again look at your KKY. Why did you join the fraternity? And what did you excel at and what did you enjoy? Because those are two different things. You could be really good at something, but that doesn't mean you enjoy it.
Right.
And figure out what those are. Because, like for me, I, yes, very medical and everything, but I enjoy traveling. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy going to new places. So, at a point, before I got into the career that I am, I was looking into potentially utilizing my past experiences at KKSI as a pharmaceutical rep. They travel, they speak to people, they do all the things, and it aligned up with a lot of stuff that I enjoyed doing with KKSI.
Yeah.
So it's just take that step back, look at your KKY and figure out what you enjoyed doing in the fraternity and what you were good at in the fraternity. Because there are many, many different ways that you can apply those two things in your professional career.
Yeah. I will give a personal plug for my profession. I majored at NYU in performing arts administration. And I will say that members of Kappa Kappa Psi and Tau Beta Sigma make wonderful arts administrators. You are developing skills that are going to be very similar and relevant to that kind of a career path. And so I certainly encourage you to explore that as a possibility. A lot of people, when they major in music or in the arts, they think I could perform or teach, and those are kind of my only two options, but there are other ways that you can serve. Arts administrators are the ones who help arts organizations run day to day, the behind the scenes
Mhm.
stuff, um, booking with venues or artists, managing contracts, the financial bookkeeping, all of that kind of side of things, production, making shows run. And so
Mhm.
those are all skills that you may have developed in your time in Kappa Kappa Psi, and you can put that right into a career path. So I'm just going to shameless plug. If you are enjoying that behind the scenes work, making things run, setting up events, then arts administration might be a good path for you to follow. But I also want to mention that you should still put these kind of skills and positions that you developed in your time on your resume. Like those are
Mhm.
things that you can talk about in a cover letter if they ask for one, and as bullet points you can put in a resume under like a volunteer leadership
Mhm.
section, just to show that you can be committed and manage things long term, that you maybe held an officer position, that you chaired a committee. You can talk about the things that you were able to do, get done, the positive things that you ended up facilitating in your time in the organization, and use that as a skill set to make yourself more attractive to employers. So we certainly suggest that you do that.
Oh,
And then,
yes,
yeah,
100%. I was gonna say for, again, medical,
yeah,
there's not a lot of people that know what KK is,
right.
but I have my experience, KK experiences in a lesser form on my resume, and that's one of the first things that whenever I was interviewing, the interviewees were, "Oh, well, what is KK? I see that you were this position, you were this position, and can you explain?" And it makes them, for an area of careers that maybe don't know what KK is, you're able to shine a little more because you're a little different. You're
Yeah.
showing that you're a well-rounded person, and can also wear many, many hats at the same time.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely life skills that you're developing that you can be able to take with you after graduation. So don't discount them. And then, as we've talked about, if you move to an area that you're unfamiliar with and you make contact with a local alumni association or alumni who are in the area, that can help with your networking to potentially, move forward in your career path. So don't be afraid to explore those connections as well. We're all brothers. If someone moved to my area and was like, hey, I'm looking for this kind of a job, I know that I would try and help them out with the connections that I have to see if I could send them on the right path. So the network that you have now that you're creating in college, and also the one that exists nationwide, full of brothers who are connected to you in this very specific way. We're all interested and eager and willing to help move you
Mhm.
forward in your path. So don't discount that very important resource as well. It's something that I certainly didn't really think about when I graduated, the network that was involved. And it's taken me, the time being involved again to be like, I really should have thought more about this and like actually taken it into consideration whenever I was job hunting. So um, definitely something that you should do.
Yes, absolutely. I make a joke where it's like the saying is no matter where you are, where you're sitting, there's at least like five spiders or something around you. There's probably 10 brothers
That's
from
right.
wherever you live.
That's right.
So we are everywhere.
That's right. We're
Um,
all over the place.
yes,
KPSI and Tau Beta Sigma, like
yes.
there's going to be folks who can help you out. So definitely reach out and we're happy to make those connections for you. So the last thing I want to kind of talk about is just if you happen to be an alumni who, uh, someone who graduated, but you were on inactive status when you left your school, there are ways for you to get back onto alumni status. If you were inactive and left school either by graduating or just discontinuing, you aren't technically on alumni status at the moment, but there are ways for you to get back onto alumni status. You should reach out to your home chapter. They should be able to put a vote through for you to put you onto alumni status and then report that to headquarters.
Mhm.
If your home chapter is not active at the moment, please reach out to the National Council and we can help you get through that process. But this information can also be found on the Kappa Psi Alumni Association website under the membership tab. It's called inactive status. Would you like to talk more about that?
Yeah, so pretty much, long story short, basically what Arupa said, if your home chapter is active and you left your college or university as a listed inactive, you just have to reach back out to your home chapter. They will put in the vote, they'll fill out the forms that we have on our website. And then you'll pay pretty much essentially the activation fee which is very similar to our alumni fees and everything like that. And then wham bam, you are good to go. And then of course, if you run into the issue of your home chapter is not active right now, there do not fret. You just reach out to the National Council, and then just work with them. And then they will also work with us, and then we'll make sure that we get you to that alumni status. So if you were super active while you were in undergrad, and then maybe the last year it was
Yeah.
I had an externship, I had 24 credits in my last semester and I just did not have the time.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you're a brother for life.
That's right.
So if you're interested in coming back, we absolutely welcome you with open arms, and hopefully these ways will help get you back home.
Absolutely. How often does that happen, do you think?
We've we've run into it a few times. I wouldn't say it's a rare occurrence, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's an everyday occurrence.
But it does happen.
It does happen. It absolutely happens.
That's great. So if you happen to be watching this and you graduated or left school on inactive status, you can still come back and be involved. So just reach out if you need help.
Yes. And then if you did leave as a alumni and maybe you just didn't sign up for the Alumni Association afterwards, your graduating senior year has come and gone, you can still fill out that membership form. You don't have to fill out the inactive status. The inactive status are only for individuals who left their college or university as an inactive. If
Right.
you are not sure, if unsure of what level you are, reach out to us. We can let you know. We can send you to the
Right.
form for you to fill out.
Right. 100%. But if you are still in school and you are about to graduate, please check with your executive board about submitting the graduating senior report. That's going to be the best and easiest and most efficient way to get you onto the right status as you're graduating. If you're not sure that your chapter has ever even seen this form before, please check in with your chapter leadership. And if you need help, just let us know.
Absolutely.
So we are about out of time, but at the end, we just want to give everybody some reminders. Thank you so much, Brittany, for joining me. Would you like to talk about a little bit about the elections, the podcast, any of the contact information for the AABOD?
Yes. Also, thank you so much for having me. I have been so excited for this all week, so I'm really happy to have joined you. Um, we are in an election year for the AABOD as well as National Council. Our elections are going to happen between May 1st through May 15th. So if you are a graduating senior, um, the free year that we give you, it does not come with voting rights. If you would like to vote and if you're interested in voting, there is a graduating senior rights or graduating senior with voting rights level available. It's $15 a year. Again, fill out the form. We'll get you all covered. If you're interested in voting for elections, you have to be registered by April 25th to be able to vote.
Okay, so you got
For
10
any,
days.
yep, 10 days. 10 days. Aaron's a quick fill a form outer. He's got it. He can do this in his sleep. So if that's something you're interested in, you've got 10 days and Aaron will probably beat you to it.
That's great.
Elections will be happening this upcoming year. We have our podcast, The Tempo, that puts out different programming. Currently, what we're focusing on are the elections. So the candidate packets are coming out this month as well, but we'll have more episodes coming out later. We have our link tree, we have our Facebook page, we have our Instagram page, we have a Discord page, we have our website. Just anything, just look up KK Psi AA and you'll take us right to there. And yeah, other than that, I think that's all of our information. If you're interested in any more information, you can absolutely reach out to me. My email address is biberstonb@kksci.org. Biberston, B as in boy, at kksci.org. If you are interested in an LAA, reach out at laa@kksci.org. Either one.
Wonderful.
If you have any questions or concerns, definitely reach out to either one of those emails.
Sounds great. I will put that in a comment in the live stream after we're done, so that you can find those links if you need them. But also, I will put a link to our KK Side chapter resources folder. All of the VPSA chat recordings are going to end up in that folder. It's a Google Drive that the CFRs put together. It's so super helpful, has tons of information, not just about the VPSA chats. So if you haven't been there already, I encourage you to visit tinyurl.com/KKPSI resources with an S at the end. And that will give you so much information on so much about how to make your chapter work. And it also includes the recordings of these chats so that you can watch it later. If you'd like to share it with anybody, it will be there shortly. Like we mentioned earlier, the intercollegiate jazz band auditions end today. So if you have time, if you have a jazz recording that you happen to have lying around and you'd like to participate, please go on to the website kksci.org/jazz and audition for the IJB. It's the very first one. You can join us in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes, be a part of history, be a part of
Absolutely.
the first IJB, like sincerely. And
Absolutely.
just you have a few hours. You can get it done. You've done your homework
Yeah,
starting at 11:30 p.m. and it's due at 11:59
that's right.
p.m. You can do this.
Absolutely. You're ready. You've been practicing for whatever concert for all semester, so just, you've got it. Put in
Yeah,
an audition. It's going to be great. Speaking about National Convention, registration is going to be opening soon.
should
And
be open. Yes.
oh, it's open already.
Yes.
Registration is already open. You can go to natcon.kkytbsonline.com to join us in Lexington this summer. We hope that you're planning for representation from your chapter, bringing your group with you. If you need help at all, please let us know. Like we mentioned, our district alumni associations will often provide monetary assistance to help get folks to conventions. So please reach out, please stay aware, and take advantage of those opportunities because we all want you to be at national convention. So register today. I'm going to check if there are any other questions. We got some supportive comments, which was super cute. Thank you very much. And I don't think we got any actual questions. If anyone wants to add a question, you're free to do so. We're going to be on for just a couple more minutes. Um, in closing, Brittany, would you like to add anything at the end here?
Um, no, I don't think so. Active alumni, and even if you're not a graduating senior and you're not graduating this year, if you're a junior, and if you have any questions or if you're interested in potentially maybe you're preparing and trying to get
Right.
ahead of the game, and you may want to travel to a different area for a job, you can
Right.
always, we will not turn down any active, whatever level y'all are, if you have any questions that we can provide and help out with you. So just reach out. We're very friendly. We don't bite. We take showers. We use deodorant. We do all the fun stuff. So,
Absolutely. And we're all band kids. We're all in the same
yeah.
boat. We come from the same place. We have all this wonderful stuff in common already. And, if you're not a graduating senior and you're about to start maybe your job hunt, this, like we said, is a network that can help you out. So, or if you're thinking about graduate school or, what else you could do after leaving your undergraduate situation, we have
Mhm.
alumni all over the place who have done many different things with their lives, who are more than happy to share their experience.
Yes.
So, if I think that's everything for tonight. So thank you again to Brittany. Thank you all for watching. Again, this is going to end up in the VPSA chat recordings folder. It'll also stay up here on our Facebook page for you to watch back. I will put some contact information in the comments in a moment so that you can follow up with us if you need to. And I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you will join us in Lexington for National Convention, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Awesome. Bye.